Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary fineries. Game 2 of the Metroid Prime Randomizer Tournament 2025. We got FrigidHyperion versus BajaBlood. I'm Drake Fos. I got Op on tracking. And the match is about to get started. This is Group F, Round 1. Baja, I believe, is the first seed of the group, whereas Frigid is the third seed of the group, if I'm reading the standings correctly. If I am not, please bully me in the chat. As usual, we have our tracking dock, which isn't as useful in Prime, but I like it. Helps me out. So we should be getting started here pretty soon. No runner's agreements. And Nye will bully me even if I'm right. I would expect nothing less, Nye. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know. It's Prime. You zoom. You go cowboy. Ooga booga. Go fast. Here we go. Okay. So, landing sites. Landing sites start. I'm gonna check alcove immediately. Is this actually just a delay? Or is... No. Okay, so it's just asyncs. Okay. So we're gonna start with alcove. Usually has progression. Okay. And then after that, check under the ship. If it's a missile... Nice. If this is a missile launcher, it is a launcher. Okay. Next, we check under the ship, go to Artifact Temple, grab our hints. That looks like a visor. Looked like X-ray visor in me. We will be able to double check here with Hyperion, but I imagine both Baja and Hyperion are going to be going to the Artifact Temple, grabbing some hints. In terms of what's in logic, it is just Artifact Temple and Shrine Alcove and Totem? What else does Launcher put in the logic right in the early game? Am I missing anything? Can't think of anything else the Launcher puts into logic. Oh! Transport to Tunnel B. Forget about that. Don't forget about that. So I imagine both players... Oh, main PBs in Artifact Temple. Huh. What does that put into logic? Lower Shrine. But first I will read the artifacts. Here we go. Baja does enjoy reading the artifacts right away. Simply because it allows us to avoid checks that we would otherwise be trying to grab. KR, you missed the earlier match. That seed was fantastic. Hold on. Cargo? Ruined Shrine. I missed what was the second one. I have no idea. PMT. Elite Quarters, Main Quarry. PMT... Elite Quarters, the Main Quarry. Wow, that is... that is terrible. That is putrid. Baja rightfully taking out his frustration. And I missed what was the second one again. Can someone explain to me what the second one was? That one I missed. Because I know Cargo Freight Lift. Ice Runes West, thank you, Captain. And Baja is expected going to Transport Tunnel B. It is logical. Normally you would skip this. I imagine most people would skip this. Ice Runes West. Space Jump, okay. Okay. Do we do Arbor Chamber now? We do Root Cave, definitely. Ooh, Hyperion's skipping it. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Meantime, let me just make sure to get down Cargo Free Lift. Did Baja down? Baja downed. I was not looking. Okay, cargo freight lifts. Ruined Shrine. Someone has joined here. Hello, Samuel.
Oh, hello, give me 1 second. I'm here to join the comms. I'm a bit late, but give me a second.
Grapple on Grapple Edge. Fitting. Morph Ball on Half Pipe. I think that's Morph Ball. I think boosts. Maybe. It's probably boost. Okay. And then Energy Tank in Root Cave. So I'm keeping track of all the items.
Alright, get me up to speed. What do we got?
Artifacts, we have Cargo Freight Lifts, Ice Runes West, Ruined Shrine, PMT, Elite Quarters, and Main Quarry.
Fun. So we got the X-ray requirement and we got plasma requirement in early fen.
X-rays under the ship.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, and we can hear your push to talk sound, by the way. And peak.
My bad.
Kind of looks like a missile. Kind of looks like a missile. Meanwhile, what is this? Gallery wall is dead. Although you do want to pick it up. I'm actually surprised. Oh, we have main PVs. Yeah, you still want to pick it up. You still want to pick it up. You like the ammo. Looks like Baja's trying again for Arbor Trailer.
Nice.
Live totem dead. Oh yeah, transport access north is logical. That's right, I forgot. Missile launcher.
Do we have boots that were vanilla or they were in Artifact Temple?
Boots were in transport tunnel B.
Oh, okay, cool.
B.
Looks like Baja's having some gripes with the Seaworld. Just got it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Baja didn't skip transport tunnel B, and that's why we're here. And lost a bunch of time, is upset with himself, understandably.
Yeah, okay, that ashtray is going to really help with the routing.
Yeah. Now, Baja does not know that he is very much so ahead right now. And nursery is nothing. And I missed what was Ruined Gallery Pipe, if someone wants to go back to the VOD and check that out. But yeah,
we'll be able to see it here in a bit when Frigid goes back.
now we get to see whether or not this is Morph Ball or Boost and Half Pipe. Boost doesn't move around, right? It's Morph Ball that, like...
They both move around. The difference is that Morph Ball is much bigger than the Boost Ball model.
That's probably Morph Ball and Half Pipe.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Checking the tree immediately. Oh. What is that? Game, please. I would like... Missile. Okay.
Just a missile. Grapple beam on the grapple edge. Ironic.
And Morph Ball. Okay. So Baja doesn't know, but we are significantly ahead right now. But we're going to... And Hyperion's going to feel very sad about skipping Transport Tunnel B. If you missed... Oh, yeah, you didn't miss the last race. That race was fantastic. I was about to...
Yeah, that race was pretty dope. Baja was just commentating it as well, so...
Indeed, yeah.
And he was wondering whether or not he would end up getting seed bleed from watching it for this one, but he seems to be doing okay so far.
Yeah. Okay, so it's lower item. Okay.
Did both players read their artifacts?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Let me just repost the deets in chat for anyone who missed them. So what now? Just go further into Jozo? Yeah, we don't have Varia, we don't have...
Yeah,
oh, what is that?
I'd say so. Varia's there, actually, right there on Vault Ledge.
Oh my god.
Okay, well... The power bombs make this a little interesting because we can do lava... Ooh, that looks something important. That looks like boost and vault, I think.
I missed it.
But we could maybe consider doing Lava Lake here after like the Hive Totem stuff because we can route into the other parts of Magmor with main power bombs pretty easily. But I mean, it could still be bait. We still have like, you know, the lower dynamo, gathering hall, watery hall, you know, all that good stuff.
Oh, and I think I forgot to mention this is a Nigh Seed. Very important. I don't know how
Nigh, yes.
I don't know how Nye generates seeds, if Nye's generates some diabolical stuff.
Um,
I
pretty
know Jay is a
even mixed.
diabolical prime roller, but
I'm sure we'll
alright,
see plenty of Reed seeds in the future, don't worry.
dude. Alright.
We're gonna get this gallery peak.
Missile.
Definitely a missile in there. Oh, interesting. Frigid actually stopping the root cave climb there to scan the item, which I didn't know you could do from there. Found it was an E-tank and is gonna leave.
The root cave item is in logic now. We do have grapple. We do have so that E-tank is in logic, but I don't think the E-tank matters for anything. Not in these settings, I don't think, unless we're doing combat stuff. I don't know if there's any combat settings.
Well, combat is at beginner, but at the moment there's not really any significant logic for it.
Yeah. Like,
Maybe
there's no
for
beginner
lower
logic
water
that
level.
requires E-tanks for...
Okay, yeah, we are doing lava lake here. I'm curious. I mean, Baja, if you're going down here, you're probably to commit to all of Magmore.
Yeah.
But it looks like Frigid is going to possibly move on to the other parts of Chozo, so maybe we'll see how that works for them.
Yeah, Frigid has already done the Hive Totem area, so... Yep. So it kind of forces a route divergence. To go Magmore here would be kind of inefficient, but at the same time you could go through Vault and check Vault. This might not be too bad. Okay. But at the very least grabbing the artifact. Alright, Lava Lake. Nothing.
Just nothing. Very nice to have mains for this. No need to worry about drops at all.
Mhm. So we'll see. Frigid could still go to Magmore because of the Vault Peak, which they were not able to do before. I don't even know what that item is. We'll never know.
Yeah, I didn't catch it on the playback. Oh, it's a missile.
Alright. Baja was practicing earlier today. Was trying some spiderless shafts. Was not having fun. Was not having fun doing it. Oh, now you're
Yeah.
checking Vault.
That's okay, given that
That's
we don't
okay, I
have
guess,
bombs yet,
yeah.
I don't think.
Okay. So I guess the
Also,
choice.
I agree with Nye here, but I think that's generally just because I keep a rule of thumb to not follow the various suit generally,
Yeah.
especially if we don't have bombs.
Okay, I guess yeah. This is like the latest thing to come into logic with that Varia.
But who knows? Shore tunnel could be bombs or even lower fiery shores.
I'm mainly talking about this. This is like really convenient here. This magma pool.
Yeah, okay, that is nice,
Nothing.
but it is just a nothing.
In the meantime, Baja booking it straight to Warrior Shrine. Ooh, yeah. No bombs to escape though. I still haven't seen what's in Rune Fountain. E.
You're correct, KR. Main PBs can be used in place of bombs to destroy sandstone blocks.
Yes.
I can definitely see Burn Dome having bombs here. Another E-tank there on Shore Tunnel, looks like.
Now I get to confirm what's in Vault. Missile. Not boost. And it looks like taking the Varia Mage as well. Okay. Let's see what's... Oh, that's Spider.
Spider, okay, interesting. Could get rewarded for that if upper dynamo is important.
Upper Fire
We
Shore
are gonna
speed.
peek
Very,
this
very
in.
simple. Just jump.
We're a little short there. Should be we can back up a little bit.
I think you have to stand on the pipe. And then, like, walk into it and then jump.
Oop. I
Baja's
do not
not
believe he caught that there.
I know Baja is not happy. Baja was not having fun earlier doing some prime practice. Yeah, Baja's
A
not
little
over
bit
here
more to the
as
left
quickly.
there.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to like get on the pipe, walk off, and then jump after you. Oh,
You
there's a missile.
can, but you don't have to.
Pretty sure that's a missile.
I couldn't quite see it. I don't think Baja
Thanks.
could either. So that is going to be left isolated.
Mm-hmm.
And it could, in theory, be bombs, but it is pretty unlikely.
Do detour here for Frigate Crash Site? I feel like that's a bit too much.
You definitely do frigate crash site here. It's very
Really?
much in logic.
It's only one check though. It's cut out of the way.
It is, but it's not super slow to get it, and it's not very fun to isolate early game. Because even if it's not bombs, it could be a variety of other items that could be useful.
You can climb? No, you can't. We don't have Ice Beam. We need the Ice Beam to climb Frigate Crash Site. If we had Ice Beam, then I think the play would be to just do Frigate Crash Site immediately. Well, like maybe not the play. Well, the X-ray does make it suspicious. Although there is one reason actually why you would want to go.
Okay, we're not going. I feel like that might come back to bite them.
I don't mind it. It is one really slow check
We'll see.
compared to like
That spider ball might really be pointing to upper dynamo.
Yeah.
But that is the one check. Besides, maybe if like we find bombs and upper furnace is something important, that will reward Baja for going to Varia or Magmor first.
I'm gonna go VOD dive for that peak because Baja did get a short look at that missile. If it was a
I
missile,
could
I'm
not
pretty
see
sure.
it. Not even on the
was very
playback, so I'm
short.
not sure.
It was very short. I'm gonna slow mo the VOD. Do that.
Enhance.
Oh, got a peek of it for like a frame.
Wow, not going for that E-tank. Frigid is living on the edge here. We'll grab this one though. Or not.
Do we save the PB for? Do we? Actually, no. I feel maybe Baja. I think there was a world where Baja, if Baja found nothing in lower fire shores, maybe does like or if either player found nothing in fire shores, they do the YOLO into upper fire shores and then reset out if it's nothing. What do you think about that play? Was that ever an option? Like if you went into Magmor there, would that have been a possible play for you?
You mean like
Oh,
they're there. You meant like checking what it was and then going? I'm confused.
No, I mean checking lower fire shores and then just going to Warrior Shrine and then dropping in.
Well,
Without,
if I couldn't see it, then probably not. So we still upper dynamo could be something important.
Otherwise, routes have been identical. The only issue is that Hyperion just did forgot to go to Transpersonal B.
Maybe not forgot, perhaps just didn't want to do it immediately. Nope, upper dynamo is
wrong
dead, but I'd still say upper furnace is worth considering here. Lower watery hall, nothing important. So Frigid is going back for X-ray, but not for Frigate Crash Site, which is kind of
Yeah,
weird to me.
that's-
If you go back for that, I'd probably also do Frigate.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Ice Ruins East is also a good point. That is opened up with that spider.
Do we do Zoid here?
Maybe. I think so, personally. If we had boost or maybe a beam, I think not.
Why exactly booster or beam? Is Zoid
Well,
really
it's
that slow?
essentially just depending on how many majors are currently available and are useful. If you found one in like mid Chozo that wasn't bombs, then it opens up. It points to Chozo having less now
Mm,
because you found majors earlier. It's a little bit superficial because it's a randomizer and it can have however many majors at
yeah.
once. But it does open up more infant, like especially if you have wave, right? Because that opens up way more. There, then I don't think Zoid would be worth. But because we don't have a beam specifically, I think it's worthwhile doing this. Just a missile there.
Yeah, we're just waiting. Our next progression we'd like to see is wave. Ice beam would also be
Frigid
nice.
also getting those bombs.
Yep. What is the latest item to be unlocked, actually? The spider came into logic as soon as the space jump came into logic.
Okay, just a missile. Zoid not the answer.
Bombs. Bombs are the latest thing. No. Spider, bombs, Varia. No. The latest thing to come into logic was technically spider. Right? Yes. Bombs came into
Yep.
logic after after Morph Ball and Pipe. Which came at the same time as oh, actually. No wait. Both bombs and both bombs and spider came into logic at about the same time, I think. Yeah. I don't know which one is preferred.
Roughly. Varia came
Very came after
at the
Space Jump,
same
but
time
sort
as
of.
bombs.
Yeah, very came at the same side. Yeah. So, I don't know.
And Space Jump wasn't even required for bombs. So I am curious about this
Space
upper
Jump was
furnace.
required for bombs because the Morph Ball was on the half pipe.
Oh yes, good point.
Oh, what is that? Oh, that looks like supers. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is what I thought. Oh, held R. Oop, careful there, Frigid. Not a lot of health.
What does supers do for us?
That puts Lighthouse into logic. Tree was dead.
True is dead. Never
No, that
mind.
is Ice Beam.
Oh,
That is
yeah, that's
completely different.
That is completely
Okay,
different.
yeah. Upper furnace. Why are we going this way?
Lower furnace.
Oh, I see, I see.
Sometimes you get punished for checking one first over the other.
I have a penchant for checking lower first if I think upper is going to be a beam.
Okay, so yeah, we continue into Farchozo. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is nice. This is where knowing the HBJ or triple bomb jump out of there is really nice. Baja, I think, might know the triple bomb jump at least. I'm not certain.
Oh, yeah. This also puts Great Tree Chamber into logic. We have X-ray available to us. Do we go for that? Well,
It depends on how much you want to do Life Grove and Life Grove Tunnel. Because if you don't want to do Life Grove, then that trip isn't very worth. But if you have the confidence to do that, then yeah, I'd say so. Get as many checks on that path out of the way as you can.
But Samuel, have you considered the idea that Life Grow or that Great Tree Chamber might have boost? That would
I
be
mean, that is possible, especially with X-ray being in logic.
Yeah.
But I think irregardless, you know, it really just depends on how comfortable you are doing without boost.
Yeah, I'm joking. That's just like
Because boost doesn't
Never
really
mind,
need to enter
boost.
logic right now, especially because we have plasma beam now.
just good old fashioned leave Chozo kind of go.
So, honestly, now I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably just book it defend because we have access to everything that is not locked by wave.
Do you at least do anti-chamber and overgrown here?
Well, if you can do the bomb jump, then yeah, obviously. If
Or
not,
crossroads, or
then
crossway.
I think you'd backtrack and you would risk leaving those isolated. Like, do we have any artifacts there? I can't remember.
We have Ice Runes West as an artifact. We have Ruined Shrine, Cargo Freight Lifts, and then the rest are in mines.
Okay. Baja is going back this way, so I think he is interested in the triple bomb jump.
Mhm. I think he feels behind, even though.
I don't think so. I think he's feeling okay, especially because with that spider find
I'm
and getting that
absolutely
ice pretty
certain.
easily.
Every single time a Rando player plays, they think they're behind. Every single time. You ask, like, I cannot tell you
I
often. I ask them at the end of a race. They're like, "Did you feel behind, even though you were played absolutely perfectly?" And they were like, "Yes." So I think Baja thinks he's behind.
okay, well, I personally don't. I think Baja's pretty confident here. Oh,
Oh my
nice.
god,
Well done.
that was that was incredible.
Okay, Frigid also getting that ice beam. I have no idea how comfortable they are with the triple bomb jump, so
Yeah.
we'll see maybe if Baja gets rewarded here and throws an even bigger wrench into this race. Because Frigid is right behind him. No,
Okay.
nah. The timing for triple bomb jumps is a lot more strict. With, I don't know why, honestly, but in Prime, the bomb hitboxes are different, I guess. I'm not sure. So we are moving into the Life Pro side. This is kind of questionable unless you're going to do Life Grove.
I think Baja's just thinking, um, get
That
the
X-ray just put this
yeah, the X-ray,
in logic.
and maybe Baja's worked on the UBJ.
What is
Oh, it's
that? That looks
Metroid.
like a nothing.
Yeah, it's Metroid. Okay, just did it
Okay.
for the logic. Not
Okay.
optimal, but I'm okay with it. It's conservative, but it's okay.
It's it's just a I don't know. I just personally wouldn't have done it. Plus, you already want to go into Overgrown Cavern, so you're already spending some extra time doing that. This is nice because this lets you route in Frigate Crash Site as well. We will get punished if Frigate Crash Site is boost, but probably will not. Yeah, Great Tree Chamber is not a big hotspot for logical progression, I'd say. It's usually like an item that's kind of an odd one out, like main power bombs or phase on even.
Yeah, generally I don't like it when you have a lot of other things, just because it's like it's a pretty slow check. 2 elevators and only one item, etc., etc. But
I am
yeah,
very curious what Frigate
I
is.
have seen boost. I was memeing about boost because I have seen boost there. It's, I think the last time I commentated at primaries before this tournament.
Wouldn't it be funny if we had triple vanilla boost balls?
Yeah, that, yep, that'd be incredible.
I had one in my race earlier today. We had one in the race Baja was commentating rather, and we might see another one
I think we
in
saw
the
one
one Baja's
earlier this
racing.
week as well, during one of the casual
Maybe,
races.
yeah, I think so. Damn, the poor pirate just minded his own business. That's a missile one for it. So, never punished.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so pick up X-ray,
How
and
did that missile
then
hit
Twin
that door?
Fires. What do you think? Pick up X-ray, Twin Fires, Fen?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's any other route divergence you could really do.
Nope.
Can't do cargo freight lifts. Can't. Can't do far Fen. Yeah, you just go through Fen through the front door.
Yeah.
Hyperion turned around. It is now doing water hall. Oh, forgot about water hall. Probably just forgot about the item here. So unfortunately, oh no, wait, got the plasma though. So should be okay. Just depends on what else. There's nothing else we can do in Chozo, right? No, unless
No.
it's foie gras. So the only thing that I guess we could
Depending
do,
on what Frigid does here,
I think
they
Frigid
might be
probably,
okay.
I think Frigid probably could do foie gras into Magmor. But we've already done Lava Lake, so never mind. No, just Safe Warping is better. But yeah, Fen. Shorelines.
A lot is in logic here. The only way that this could screw Baja over is if we get the game is like, haha, funny, have Wave on Flagra.
Hmm.
Also, Frigid is not going to Overgrown Cavern, and they will not be punished for it, so it's not too shabby.
Yeah, no reason to. It's kind of out of the way. Far Chozo is in logic, but it's just way more check dance to do this. And we can also get this on the way. Now does Baja do Upper Shrine? Or excuse me, Upper Fire Shrine?
Yeah, he didn't seem to get a good peek on it, and he doesn't seem pretty confident on it either, so I'd say you probably should. Leaving that isolated with main PBs doesn't seem like a good idea, but we'll see. You could make an argument to isolate it because we have Plasma and Fen is like very directly where the seed is pointing.
It's actually not that much in Fen as I thought. In terms of
Well, we can
check.
get everything that's not locked by wave.
Yeah, so Fen
Yes, yes, yes.
Shorelines, Chozo Ice, Chapel of the Elders, Ice Runes East, Ice Runes East upper and lower, and Fen.
And
Canyon.
also the lighthouse. Well, actually, we don't have supers quite yet.
We don't have supers, yeah, no. So, but yeah, that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 checks, and Flogger that are in logic right now for us.
We could we could find like supers and ice ruins east, and then have to go fight ghosts.
Yeah, or boost and then into Life Growth Tunnel. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah,
I would think.
yeah. If you were confident in boostless and life growth stuff had that, then
Oh, there's also
that'd
this.
be
That's in
huge.
logic. Forgot about this.
Yep, there's
Logic of
TTA. We didn't have bombs. We were coming through here. It's just a missile. Frigid securing their second E-tank, unlike Baja, who's been grabbing as many as he can.
Yeah.
I respect the play by Frigid, though, you know. You know, if you're confident enough, you can just ignore most of the E-tanks. So interested to see how Baja chooses to route this. Generally, when I have access to everything, I will start with the shoreline stuff here because I want to see if wave is here first, and then wound ice frenzy stuff. If I don't have plasma, then I probably don't do this first. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Is it the lighthouse? I can't see what's in the lighthouse there.
No idea what's in the lighthouse.
I don't think it's wave. I think that kind of looks like thermal, to be honest.
I will. We can check the VOD, but I.
I'm looking at the VOD too.
Oh.
I got it playing, and Baja's stream is
Oh.
a little bit blurry there too, so I couldn't quite see.
I mean Baja's VOD, like Baja's VOD is clear. So.
Oh yeah, that could work.
But that only puts Lighthouse into logic. Actually, no,
It puts Ghosts into logic.
Ghosts into logic. I forgot
Well.
to. Oh boy. All right. Upper.
Alright, just gonna
Ice Runes East.
roll into this. Another E-tank. Oh boy, it could be happening. Just a missile there.
1, 2, 3,
We've
4
got
checks.
3
Big
others.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm gonna
Ice Runes
check-
West, but that's an artifact.
Yeah. I'm gonna check Baja's VOD just to confirm that this is.
Well, we should be able to see it from here, I think. That looks to be
Missile.
boost. Is that
No,
a
it's
missile? I think it is a missile. Yeah, actually. I had to really squint.
Interesting that we're doing this first. I feel like you want to do this in the lull. Well, okay. You know.
I don't think
I don't
it
know,
matters very much personally. If you find wave here, then you can route into the rest of Fen.
And if you find wave over there,
And even if you don't find wave here and Chapel is important, you can very easily lockpick it with a power bomb.
that's right. I forgot about lockpicking. Yep, indeed a missile.
Yeah, it's arguably the easiest lockpick. You just lay a power bomb and roll.
Yeah.
Another E-tank. Frigid is opting to go here early. No, infinite speed cannot be allowed unless it is R8.
R8, yeah.
And it is a pretty rare RA.
Because I can get really goofy really quickly. Yes. 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 Now give me vanilla boost. Just give me vanilla boost. Oh my god. No way.
Oh my god. No, no.
I willed it.
Wait.
I willed it into
What?
existence,
Oh,
dude.
How? That's insane.
Your boy
The 3
just
seeds
has
today
the
have
magic
all
voice.
had that be vanilla.
Your boy just has the magic voice, dude. I will Pod W suits into existence.
Is this vanilla? What is this even randomized? You got going to boost first, then going to wave.
Oh.
You're doing an 8% run now?
Yeah. Okay, so like what? The entire game is now open? What is not in logic? I don't think anything's in, like.
Well,
I guess like
we don't have
Frigid is not logic.
Boost.
We do have boost. We have boost.
No boost. Oh yes, boost. It was vanilla. I'm trolling.
Okay.
We literally just saw it. That was the whole thing we were freaking out about.
Yeah. It's alright. I think only what
and
Biohazard...
you could do practically everything now. So we have, what was it? It was cargo freight lift. Then we have Ice Ruins West here.
Yeah.
We did Lower Ruin Shrine. Then it's the rest are in mines. You said what are our mines? You said Elite Quarters, PMT, and
PMT main core.
Main Quarry,
Yeah, main core.
and also OP.
Yes. PMT, Elite Quarters, and
Okay.
main core.
All right, fun. So, I mean, honestly, I think you take a warp to start at Ruin Courtyard and clean up those artifacts in the front. Especially now that you have boost, you can take care of the life growth stuff on the way, and barter skip.
Do you want to do a cargo freight lift?
Good idea.
Well, that's a hard call.
It is. I don't think you do. I think you would push into mines and do, because you can clear everything on your way to getting the OP artifact, and then just warp to start after if Phazon doesn't end up being there, and get the artifact and get the hint. And doing more checks in the way first gives you a higher chance of finding gravity and making it a lot faster.
I believe Frigid does have a second artifact, the Rune Shrine lower artifact.
I can't remember.
I'm just letting
Probably though.
Letting yourself know. How do you feel about doing labs into mines here and skipping Farfan?
I don't feel like it's worth it. You don't really need to look for anything else besides Phazon suit.
Baja agrees. Baja agrees. Are we gonna see the dash? I have struggled with this a little bit. I imagine Baja might have struggled with this a little bit as well, but
yes,
even still,
you need to bend earlier than you think.
Yeah.
You need to bend before you let go of the lock-on, or else you will hit the wall behind you. Yeah, you start your bend pretty early.
Nice.
Nice. That was
well
good.
done. Do a quick Kumon check. It is logical. Actually, I think the only logical thing that's slowing us down here is thermal, but we don't care about that, so...
We'll take that, though.
Yep. Yeah, the only checks that are
find
not
anything
logical
in the
right
news.
now are Workstation, Quarantine Cave, Biohazard, Hydro Access Tunnel, and I believe that's it. Does main... Okay, main core requires thermal, technically, I think.
That's correct.
Yeah. Is there anything in mines that requires thermal aside from main quarry? I don't think so. I have no idea what that was. Maybe nothing. I guess gravity chamber lowers non-logic without grav. Unless
it is grav. Have it also be vanilla.
Yeah. So yeah, but I'm basically trying to confirm that the entire game is open to us. Just
Practically speaking.
Still want to check workstation, though.
Yep. Probably not. Oh, what is that? That is a suit.
That
I
is
think
a
that is
suit?
actually face on. I think that was face on.
So are we just no more?
It really looked a lot like phase on. Even if it's not phase on, it might be worth picking up.
Yeah, just for cargo freight lift.
But if that looked a lot like phase on, and if it is, then the seat is solved.
Yep, we're done.
Oh, wrong way there.
Man, those jets of air must be absolutely like. Yep, there it is. Okay, we're done. Off we go
Alright,
to mines.
That's
Yep.
the seat.
Yep, we're done.
Alright, well, this is gonna be essentially hundo routing now.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, I guess you do mines first just in case you find grav. And then do cargo freight left.
There's no reason not to do mines right now.
Yeah. So yeah, main quarry, do you do upper mines first, or...?
No, you would do lower first. You need to do OP. Frigid opting to do Thardus here. I think they also didn't want to do labs, but does not know the skip.
I was mainly asking because which safe station do you want to end on first? Do you want to end on the upper safe station or the lower?
Well, where was our upper artifact again?
Main quarry.
Then you start with lower here. It's just faster.
Not even bothering with extra checks. Grav would be nice, but absolutely not necessary. And it can easily cost way too much time to look for it. Maybe ECA, just a quick one, but...
ECA is a kind of slow here regardless.
Oh yeah, we're not going to upper. Never mind. Nope, never mind. Baja
okay, that is
maybe Baja
a really weird choice,
first?
to be honest.
Maybe Baja
You could opt to do it first, but you have to go through more rooms. You know, it's either after OP, you go back into MQB into the save station after backtracking through, like you have to
backtrack, yeah. Whereas with
you only have to
OP,
go
you
through
just
a handful of rooms after OP. It's just PCA, PPC, maintenance tunnel,
yeah,
elite control.
Let's ask Baja about it at the end. Baja.
Then you merge.
No, let's do lower first. Maybe misread a hint?
Maybe so, maybe so.
Never
Or just-
punished, dude.
Or just knowing where gravity suit is, that also works.
This is a weird check to me. That's just a weird check to me.
Okay, but regardless though, right? If you would do that regardless, that's still slower.
Actually, wait, is this actually, like, is it as many rooms? Hold on.
You go through more rooms. Like, you have to go through all this backtracking to also get down.
I guess it's not as much as
Like,
I
waste
thought.
disposal is a really slow room to go through. Main quarry is a slow room to go through.
But still, the fact that Baja didn't check ECA and check that and got rewarded for it blows my mind. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Incredible. Never punished. Although even when he is being punished, he is still never punished. And I missed what was on Thardus. But
I'm pretty sure Thardus was dead. I mean, we have a full tracker, essentially. It would need to be a super combo.
yeah, okay, so this is 1, 2, and then an elevator. It's not as slow as I thought it was, actually. It's slower,
This way
I agree.
this way is slower by quite a
It
bit.
is slower, definitely, but it's not as slow as I thought it was.
Well, it's not like you're losing minutes. It's more like a minute and a half, maybe.
I still find it hilarious that Baja skipped DCA and then checked that and got rewarded for it. That's incredible.
This is especially because you have to pass through the elite pirate twice.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you have to pass through the elite part twice anyway. Here.
Cestrion, honestly, arguably, you know, with gravity now, maybe you could make that argument that it'd be faster to do lower first into upper, then to frigate. However, you would have to go through the tunnel to the elevator into the tunnel to Great Tree Hall, Great Tree Hall, then through all of Frigate to Cargo Freight Lift, whereas in main core you go to the save station, warp, Frigate crash site, and like a handful of rooms to Cargo Freight Lift.
Same amount
I
of
think it's
same
probably
amount of
not
loading,
faster.
same amount of loading zones, but definitely not the same amount of rooms. Oh, did Frigid just walk?
Oh,
Oh, Frigid just walked by phase.
I
Oh no.
I wasn't
That
even
was
paying attention to
oh yeah.
that. That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Although Baja is definitely confidently ahead,
Yep.
regardless.
Yep.
Nice Instanomorph. I've never seen that. Yep, always check workstation. If you are in a room with an item, pick it up or check it. You don't need to skip it.
No idea what that item was. The only remaining item left that we really care about is the. That'd be nice for final bosses, but
Would be convenient if it was just here in Lower Mines. It would
I love that instant.
save us a bit of time. Or at least a bit of trouble, if anything.
Frigid also checked PCA. Oh no.
You did.
Frigid just completely forgot about workstation. That's really unfortunate.
Nice dash. MQA here is definitely a complex room for movement. A lot can go wrong. These Metroids can really harass you. Like that. Just another PB expansion there in Elite Control Access. Okay, killed the pirate, checking Elite Control Access, but is going straight into Lower Mines.
Just wanted to check ECA for
Yeah.
phase zone, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess now that
Is
we
gonna
fell, we
bother
check
these
the item.
two.
Yeah.
Let's see this fungal hall access. Everybody's favorite room. Just the nicest enemies in here, always cooperating. Ooh, rare showcase there of grapple space jumps.
Yeah, that was really confusing. That looked really weird.
They're kind of funky. For just immediately going for the central dynamo item here. Let's see, it's Waybuster, but is going to do it anyways.
Yeah, for the save, I guess, but why? We can take the save in MQB?
Well, probably just that they only have 2 E-tanks and various suit.
Yeah.
Door cannot be opened with that weapon, Baja. Very mid-maze there. Oh. Interesting choice of room strat there. But did it quite cleanly.
Checking for thermal, I guess.
No, the climb up to the mushrooms I hadn't really seen before.
Oh.
Nice dash. MQB looking to be dead. Is going to take a safety save here. Although I feel like you should be very comfortable with 50% damage reduction and that amount of E-tanks. Frigid taking the slower but definitely safer route here through MQA. Alright, and we got a good OP fight. We have practically everything we could possibly need to deal with this guy. Optimally, we start with missiles here, as Baja's doing. 5 missiles to take out each armor plate.
What's the queue for the power bomb to skip the pirates?
It's to be right below OP's head, and then as soon as he lifts his head, lay powerbomb. Although Baja was a little too far from his head, so the pirates spawn anyways.
Does that speed up, like speed up him disappearing?
Yes, Baja actually saved time by doing that already. Just didn't get the pirate skip. So because he did that, OP is going to appear here a bit earlier than he was anticipating.
Should be good though. Might be a little tight on the fire. Super missile.
The last super is going to be kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Especially if he pulls this one off early, but he didn't. We're good. So this might be okay. We'll see.
Go.
Okay, we're next. We're good. There's OP dead, and now we are good, minus cargo freight lift, and we have gravity, so we are chilling.
Man, how is that not an instant on morph? Prime is weird. I'm really... If we ever get the source code, I'm really curious as to how the camera works on the instant on morphs in Prime. They're an enigma to me, dude.
Honestly, they kind of are to everybody.
Yeah.
Alright, and on to cargo freight lift.
Yes.
Frigid getting harassed by these pirates.
Thermal is logically required for things in these settings.
Yes.
So Stardust is logically required. No, to beat the game, I don't know if it's logically required.
Well, to beat the game, you need thermal. I will say that Frigid here is in logic without thermal because now we can go in through the back with gravity suit.
That is correct.
Something that is semi-exclusive to Rando, I might mention, because in vanilla, one of the doors that Baja is about to go to, where you need to activate a thermal conduit, is still required if you go backwards in the vanilla game, but Rando changes it so that if you come through the back, you do not need to shoot that.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd have to do a really, really goofy secret world.
Yes, you need to UEJ out of a hole, and then...
Yeah, the current Hundo route does it. I believe...
Yep.
Yeah, I believe it is the latest route, and it's pretty significant that you're actually you do that, right?
It is the world record route. Technically, there is a faster one, but that requires you to do a 3-tank VMR, which is not something that's super viable RTA at the moment.
Okay. But I remember it being kind of a big deal when this was discovered, because...
It's pretty nice. It does save a bit of time. Only thing is that...
Doesn't it change the route kind of significantly? Like, the route before it, like, you have more E-tanks.
It doesn't change too much, except for that when doing early newborn, typically if you were to go through Frigate from the front, you would have enough E-tanks to do it inbounds. But when going through Frigate back, you're leaving it for last. And that makes it so that you have 11, which is still technically doable to do it inbounds. It's just much stricter. So typically we opt to do the wall crawl instead for that. And that makes the route a lot more difficult. Anyways, let's talk about Frigid here, who managed to get that trooper skip, despite messing up the setup. Nicely done. And nice, first try slope jump there on Baja's end. Gonna be moving on to Ridley. We should get... this might be sub-hour. I honestly don't know how long it takes to fight Essence or Exo anymore.
Yeah. I seem to remember that, like, final bosses take, like, 10 minutes. For some reason, that's the number that's popping in my head. Like, it's an Exo skip sub-hour, but is it an Exo sub-hour? We don't know. Or at least I don't know. Baja doesn't have Ice Spreader, so it might slow things down a little bit as well.
It's not too bad.
It's not too
Supers
bad,
is the big one.
Yeah, Supers is...
But I think what comes down to it more is, hello, Baja, is, nice smiley face. is more the snipe shots if you can hit Exo as it's flying by. Or running by. It's not Ridley.
How many shots per phase here? Oh my god.
It'll Ridley will flinch away after 3, but you can hit 4 if you do it right. Also, for the first one of the second part of the ground phase, you can fire some pellets too.
Yeah, it's 5.
Make it so you can use missiles on both times. Otherwise, you can use supers there like Baja did.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a functional strat. But if you want to be ultra fast, you can do it with that power pellet strat.
The phase on suit was not in phase on mines this time.
Yeah, quite surprising. It was rather close to it, though. Nice. We got a good climb there. Oh, careful. Sometimes if you fall with speed there, you'll end up slipping. Frigid does get that gravity suit, and because they are not in go mode, they are opting to do the other checks here.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken... Their routes were relatively similar.
Yeah.
Mainly the early game with that space jump divergence. And
yeah, otherwise it would have been
Hall
very
of the
similar.
Elders changed because Baja did the triple bomb jump.
Yeah. Didn't get punished for it. Or did get punished for it. Frigid. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, Frigid was, Frigid didn't do it and got rewarded. But, yeah. When you skip phase on, yeah.
And Baja's execution overall has been a bit better.
Yep.
So even if Frigid got the phase on suit, there would have been some more catching up to do.
Yeah, and the routing also worked out better, like in Fen, for example. Baja did in Kenya last, so.
Yep. And we also have a ice start here, which is pretty good RNG for Exo here. Let's see if we can get a run-by shot here. We're looking in the wrong direction. Now we are. There we go. Oop, missed that shot though. Not too bad, because we can just use a super here. Oh, that might miss. Oh, nice. Oh, but those orbs. Okay, we are not getting the run-by shot there. So I agree, Sestron, no exo skip. Pathetic.
Disappointing. But we do get to skip. Actually, no, this is the way for us.
Alright, nice. Those supers coming in clutch. Power start here. This is good RNG, because we have supers. Let's see if we can get a run-by shot here. Not doing well with a charge shot. If you can pull off both, then you can completely skip the next beam phase.
We'll
Let's see. That's wave. That's actually good RNG because we get this out of the way. We have the good beams next, which is ice or plasma. Let's see what we get. Doesn't really matter which is which. They're both really good. Plasma, our beloved. That should be almost. You have those orbs to worry about. Maybe? Oh, nice. Good job.
Winging it. I'm getting it.
And got that plasma shot off. Should just be a just breathe on Exo. Nope, nope, there we go. Or not. Oh, was Exo like 1 HP?
I think so.
Alright, so here's where things get a little crazy. Power start, that's nice.
Yep,
Oh,
Get
wow.
down, Mr. President. That can happen.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's rude. There's Flamethrower.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats on the validation there, Frigid. Okay, this superhero is going to really help regardless of what this next one is. And we're doing power.
Look at that.
One good shot, there we go. We are starting to run a little bit low on missiles, but we should be good given that there's no orbs. Okay, ice, nice. Alright, should be one more wave of damage. Nice, got that snipe.
Dude, Baja's gotten like almost every snap. That's really good.
It's been
But
a
misses
pretty
misses
solid
the easy
active.
one.
Yep,
I don't
and
think we
just
need
a
to worry
few
about
more
the
on
rope.
charge, and we're good to go. Frigid just wrapped up the mines artifacts minus PMT.
And now I was gonna do
Alright,
cargo
more
freight lift
essence.
backwards, I assume.
Yeah, looks like it. Damn, I can't believe Baja just lost 1.5 seconds there.
By doing what, I missed it.
Uh, here's a fun fact. Here's a way all of you people can save 1.5 seconds on Essence automatically at any skill level. It's about halfway through Essence's health bar appearing. Do a space jump, and it'll skip an animation.
Wow, okay. Good to know. By the way, while this race is getting wrapped up, we got Bra versus Feisty starting in -2 minutes over on SpeedGaming 3. So you guys want to watch that?
So go check this out, either while or after this race is done.
Bunch of thermals here. Am I gonna will another one to do since?
So no thermal, but because we know where Essence is going to appear by manipulating her behavior, you stand at the edge of the pool, she'll end up in front of you, and we can do that to figure out where she is.
Frigid not going through Frigate, just did Hydroaxis thermal.
Yeah, interesting.
I guess we do life growth first and then we do Frigate last. More checks, considering. Again, we know where phase on is. Frigate does not know that they have phase on, so.
Alright, so we could finish off Essence here with pool pool cancels, but we're just doing more attack cancels for our 4 pool, it seems.
Maybe Baja not confident in the amount of damage that he did. Or just doesn't know how to do the strat.
It's a very valuable strat to learn.
What was that? Oh, we were moving out. Yeah, that was nothing.
Alright, now we should just be able to spray at Essence, and we should be able to finish.
GG.
And time. It's GG. 1 hour, 59 minutes. Very close to sub-hour, but not quite.
Yeah.
Pretty solid routing.
I love Baja. Baja in chat showing off the new emotes. God bless. Hello, Baja. Welcome, GG's.
Well, thank you.
Hello, hello.
I apologize for willing into existence the vanilla boost ball.
I like
Yeah, that's a lot of vanilla
contemplating
boost balls.
skipping that, but I was like, I don't know. Boost balls vanilla a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
Literally called it as it was happening. Like, it just, I
Yeah.
literally willed it. Like, it was, you will watch the VOD and you will lose your mind.
The gravity was funny too. It was like, yep, let's just stumble into, let's do 3
That
checks
was-
and find exactly
that
every
was-
major I'm missing.
Yeah, that was
Inexplicable to me, Baja, because we were like, why not do lower mines first? Lower mines first is faster. And then you skipped ECA, and I'm like, all right, well, Baja's skipping checks completely. And then you do that check of all checks. And then, of course, it's gravity. And it's like, oh my god, if I were in your chat right now, I'd be spamming never punished. Like,
Well,
crazy.
I'd still
That was
say you're
ridiculous.
probably punished by doing lower mine second.
yeah, even
But
when
that
you're
gravity
punishing
supervisor was
yourself,
something.
even when you're punishing yourself, you're not punishing yourself somehow. It's incredible.
I am curious about that routing choice for
Yeah.
cleaning up artifacts.
Me too.
I guess it is slower. I didn't want to have to like do PCA and climb out, but yeah, that is definitely less bad than having to retread mines.
Okay, yeah. Just in hindsight is
Yeah, no,
2020.
that was just wrong on my part. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Besides that, the routing was pretty solid. I think another thing that was interesting to me is after doing the initial Magmor loop. Actually, before that, let's talk about Magmor first. And what made you push into Magmor before Chozo?
The Varia. I mean, the Varia could sometimes point at Magma Pool there too, which is a bit awkward, but I don't know. It seemed fairly likely that something was going to be there. It's not my favorite because yeah, I do tend to like to route to mid Chozo and then come back, do plant, and then do lava lake and defend. But it didn't seem like that route would work this seed with where the items were going to be.
Yeah. The Magmor loves to be a Jubate, and it continues this.
Yep. Shoutouts to making a tutorial video and then not being able to do the same trick later.
Yeah, that was interesting. You were a little too far forward there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked
Um,
red that one frame that you got it. So
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
yeah.
yeah, but also as I was saying before, I was curious after you did Magmor initially, what motivated you to avoid doing Frigate Crash Site on your trip there through Talon into Chozo?
It's kind of slow to go back from Root Cave. Like it's not like an unreasonable thing to do. But like usually at some like I know I'm going to save warp at some point in the seed to get X-ray. And at that point, like hopefully I have Ice Beam and can route like Overgrown Cavern, Frigate, something like that.
Hmm.
Like usually I find at least at one point in the seed I'm going to save warp and go for a crash site. So like you get that item for free at some point versus going like I think 3 or 4 rooms out of the way and then back.
Sam was mostly concerned about the
Mhm.
item. Like just
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was-
No, I mean
Yeah,
I was
it's a gamble.
I just thought
Um,
okay, it's not an obvious check to me. It's a rather conservative check. I would be fine with skipping it, but he was very convinced that you should just get it.
I guess it's kind of different for me because if you can do it just faster than others can, then the idea of going out of your way for something becomes more appealing because it's less slow.
Yeah, like
So that
if you
might
got
be
the
more of
movement
a me thing.
advantage, like and like some of my early game routing was that. Like I was actually being a little more thorough than I typically am early game. Like there are probably a few things I did that I might have been willing to.
Yeah, that it was kind of
against other
something that I
people.
was explaining in like my last tournament race because that was a hot mic. I was explaining my thinking, and I was saying that if you feel like you have the movement and execution advantage, it can be worthwhile being more thorough because you have less risks and there's less things that can screw you over.
Mhm.
But you know, if you feel like you are at a more inherent disadvantage, then taking more risks can possibly reward you, right? If you don't feel very confident that you'd win if you were being thorough, you may be more confident if you take risks and get rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were behind Baja?
I like imagined that I was like a little bit behind because of Root Cave. um, but like I wasn't like I didn't
Told
like
you, Sam.
feel behind in like a permanent way. Like I figured I would probably catch up eventually on movement, um, even if I was being
Uh,
thorough.
uh, Drake was convinced that you must have felt behind, but honestly, your routing decisions were all very good, especially because in the early game, Frigid did not do Transport Tunnel B before Chozo when you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
I was we were
yeah.
even talking about it. I'm like, he probably feels behind, but like he doesn't know that like he actually just found space jump and transfer from big guy, whereas Frigid
Yeah.
did not.
And we
And that
should
was just
probably
like,
talk about the big oopsie on Frigid's end, which was going through Magmor Workstation into mines and not checking what Magmor Workstation was.
Oh no.
yeah, that was
Oh.
the
Yep.
issue.
You were still quite ahead at that time.
Yeah.
When Frigid was doing that, you were in Vent Shaft, I think,
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that.
or doing like upper mine stuff, I think.
You were pretty significantly ahead, but like that's what.
Yeah, no, it could have been
like,
pretty
happened
close then.
much. Yeah.
Yes,
That was
your execution did help. The only main difference maker that made so Frigid ended up catching up a bit because you knew the triple bomb jump and Hall of the Elders and did that, then did Great Tree Chamber, whereas Frigid did not and just backtracked and warped to start into Magmor, didn't bother with Overgrown Cavern stuff and Frigid Crash Site,
Mhm.
and they were never punished for that. So they gained a little bit of time there. By the time they were warping to start, you were taking the elevator to Magmor, I think.
Yeah, and like Great Tree
Also,
Chamber
they
is like
couldn't
exactly
do,
one of those checks that I maybe skip against some people. But like here, it's like it could be wave. There's not that many checks that can be wave anymore.
They also did Thardis, but I think that might have been because they
Yes,
failed the dash.
the route there
might
in
have
Fen
been. I
was
don't know.
identical.
I don't
It
know.
was
I'm
just
gonna
they
check the
didn't
blog
seem to know the
if
Tharda
they
skip.
to see if they actually like failed the Thardis skip or if they actually just fought Thardis right away.
Mhm.
I will check.
They just did Thardus. They didn't bother with the skip. They boosted
Really?
and fell in.
I was definitely worried. I was worried about this being wave when the supers turned up. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, that's kind of
Awful
what we
back and
were
forth.
thinking that, there is a small chance, with that spider being there about that, but I think the spider gained its purpose with upper furnace, which was nice for you because you ended up, I mean, both of you ended up going into Magmor before, so you were technically rewarded by that ice beam, but if you feel confident in the bomb jump, then you weren't really rewarded depending on how you wanted to route it.
Yeah, because you could have just stayed in Jozo and then did like single trip into Magmar. Like that actually would have routed pretty well if you know.
Yeah,
the
and
bomb.
upper Dynamo wasn't anything.
Yeah.
I think that's about all my comments. I think I think Great Tree Chamber was definitely one that maybe raise eyebrows. I think if you go into
I
that,
think it
you're probably
was
going to want to do Life Rove stuff.
again. Sam and I are disagreeing. It's just like I think it's just a conservative check. I think it's
Yeah.
fine.
It is, but I think it's inherently flawed.
Okay.
I mean, Life Growth cannot be wave with the items that exist there, and like that can be wave. And I have like 4 checks that can be well, not 4, but like it's like Shorelines and Great Tree Chamber. So it's like leaving
Yeah, I
Great
think
Tree
especially
Chamber
with
leaves
getting
you open to
plasma.
get very punished. Yeah, sure. Like it's more likely that it's in Shorelines, but like you're there already.
Yeah, I can understand why. It's just that personally, I wouldn't have made the decision. Or actually,
and
I
like
would
said,
have,
I
but
think
I just
like
would have done
against
Life Grove stuff too.
sure, that's fine too. Yeah, yeah. I think if I was worried about being behind, that's one of the corners I would cut for sure. But I was feeling pretty okay throughout.
Yeah, you were
Early
still
on, it
ahead.
felt like I was like the Magmore play felt kind of bad at the time because like yeah, it wasn't really necessary. But then like as things started to come together, I was like, we probably right ordered this as long as like they didn't like go to Furnace right away and spike the bomb jump.
Yeah, I don't think Frigid knows it. I think it kind of depends. If you know that, if you have that knowledge about your opponent as to whether or not they could do that, then you might feel more or less confident as a result. But both of you ended up taking that same route through Magmor into bombs and the like.
Yeah.
You know, it was very similar minus the space jump and the Hall of the Elders diversion.
It's hard to pass on Magmor that early when like it and PB show up before you haven't been chosen at all.
Yeah, the PB's
really
one
like
is another big one.
Yeah.
I think it was just Varia. Then I don't think you would have. But the PB's there.
Yeah.
They were
Even
really
like an out of logic PB, I probably don't take to Magmor. It makes it a little more tempting.
PBs didn't even unlock anything during that portion of the game. They were just kind of there.
Yeah, I did. I was kind of surprised by that bomb's location. That was like where I started feeling bad until eventually I was like, actually, it doesn't really matter that I was late to these.
Yeah, Varia and PBs together are like pointing to 2 very specific checks in Magmor that are locked by both Varia and PBs, and it's just like, nope, have bombs in water axis.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's I think it's because like when we were like when you actually look at it, the things that came into logic, like Varia and Morph Ball came into logic at the same time. So like it's not even like Randy necessarily deceived you because like the bombs and Spider came into logic at the same time, for example, right? Because like the space jumps put the Varia into logic and put the bombs into logic, or the Morph Ball into logic at the same time. So it's like, which one do I go with? I guess Magmor's more check dense, so like, I guess that makes sense. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious about that. Is what's your general rule of thumb for whether or not you opt to go to Magmor or stay in Chozo? Because I do it almost every time, except if you have like bombs and wave. But
yeah,
it probably differs.
It's like it's hard, to succinctly summarize it because it probably depends on a lot of things. But yeah, like PBs push me to Magmor, bombs push me to Chozo. Chozo is just kind of like artifacts. If there's any artifacts in mid Chozo, you might as well stay in Chozo.
Okay, because I'm sure there's plenty of viewers who want to understand that, because that's a pretty difficult routing decision for people who are still learning how to do it. I feel.
That is definitely the big fork in the road in the early game when you get Varia and you're like, all right, what do I do with this?
I like finding an excuse to route Magmor, like Lava Lake to Fen.
After Flagra.
Yeah, and like usually I end up doing Flagra just because it's on the way there. Some people skip
especially
Flagra,
now with the fucking cutscene skips.
With the cutscene skips,
yeah,
it's not that slow. So like all else being equal, like that is the route I will choose if I get enough items to do it, and the logic like makes it reasonable. Because like the awkward thing about, because like my route, you end up back at Root Cave, but there's nothing to do there, so that's like a little bit awkward. And then like if you route Magmor really late and you start from Talon, then you end up back in Chozo, and you might not have anything to do in Chozo, and that's awkward. So like trying to avoid those.
Magmor being really disconnected from the rest of Chozo makes routing tricky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like if you had, like there are weird instances that like it's not true, but that's really rare. Like it's really rare that you're going to be like, oh yes, I'm going to go into Magmor, and then it gives you supers and spiders, and you're like, okay, I guess I'll do Flago backwards, and then go into the rest of Chozo. Like it's really, really rare for that to happen.
Yep.
Also, just like in terms of check density, it's deceptive. Like initially, you think like naively when I first started watching and playing this game, I was like, well, Chozo is just more check dense. It's like that's not necessarily true. Like it depends on
the waterhole area is particularly good.
Yeah, but like it takes a while to get there. Whereas if you're like, if you have Varia and you're in front Chozo, or even like Hive Totem Loop, it's like, well, the next item's just clearly closer in Magmor than it is to go all the way to Waterhall, because that's actually quite far.
I do wonder if we were supposed to check Magma Pool before Lava Lake though, because like the seed could just as easily been pointing there. And you imagine like a bomb's there, and then you get to stay in Chozo, clear all that out, and then do my
Frigid, I believe
that was another really surprising. Yeah,
Frigid
they did.
That.
Yeah,
did exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I kind of realized that late that like, well, by the time I finished Magmor and found like kind of nothing, I was like, God, I hope I didn't.
Yeah, it's not a great feeling.
Magma Pool. Yeah. But then it's kind of slow to do that too, because it's like it's several rooms out of the way.
Yeah.
And you'd ideally just route it in as you're going to mid Chozo, which I wouldn't. Like at that point, I feel like you're just committing to doing mid Chozo and not.
Yeah, I agree there.
And then go to Magmor.
Ooh,
going down.
Locked on to the thing.
Hopefully,
Frigid here in a bit is about to see where the Phazon suit was.
Yeah, and then immediately be upset.
Yeah. I've hot dogged Plasma in a seed against Inner Slice that I would have won. When that was back in the day when I was trying to be Inner Slice and just could not.
Yeah, Inner Slice is pretty good. Yeah, the
times have
was
changed.
the other fun throwback to my practice from this morning, because I remember making an offhand comment being like, I feel like Phazon should be here more, given that like Thermal is often late and unlocks this check. Like, why isn't Phazon here more? And then it was.
Yeah. Did you happen to see where it was?
Thermal?
Thermal?
I don't actually
Security Cave.
Security Cave. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Ice Spreader, which our only other major is Control Tower.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
No. No, please.
No.
No.
Oh, dear.
Feels like
Hot Dog Part 2.
Sam and I are going to be here for a while.
Oh, boy.
Yep, now we're for our fan. Yep.
But in terms of...
That may end up being my cue to leave you to it. If you have any more questions, though, yeah.
No, I think I said everything that I wanted to, Except, I don't know, maybe I could complain about your movement, but... I'm not pedantic guy.
There's flashes of it looking like I know what I'm doing, and then there's losing 3 minutes to Root Cave.
Hey, I will say you got great execution, right? The reason you were behind or ahead of Frigid, despite the routing being pretty similar, is just that you are much more capable of figuring out what you want to do quicker. And that
I think
really
people don't really realize like movement is one thing, but just like deciding in an instant which direction to go in a room can make a huge difference. And I saw that when I was commentating Miguel versus, I believe it was a very early, like an Equus tournament match a while ago. I think it might have been the Inbounds tournament. And like Miguel obviously is like incredible movement, but just would have to pause occasionally in a room, be like, all right, where am I going? And it actually cost them like so much time. And I think this is another great example of it.
Yeah, there's actually kind of a... Yeah. You want to go?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's actually kind of applies to movement as well, because in like the Prime community, this is sort of applies to all speedruns, but it's the difference between one part of being fast is urgency, and that essentially is just limiting the time between what you are doing and preparing to do it, right? It's the difference between like going to a scan point and then being at that scan point, and it's that time spent locking onto it and then pressing the B button, right? With routing, as you get better at it, and especially Baja, who's like the guy known for routing really good, uh, that urgency saves up a lot more time than you think, and it
In
applies
speedrunning,
to
it's a
movement and
little
routing.
different. The way I think about it in speedrunning is that you kind of the space in between strats is a strat in of itself, and you should practice it.
Like
That's the
muscle
way
memory, right?
That's the way I think about it. But urgency is also a great way to think about it. Justin made a video about this. We can link it in chat if you want.
Yeah, it's a really good video. Well, it's called Quick Prime: The Concept of Urgency.
Yeah,
It's a good video that breaks down just how movement strats work and how you learn them. And
So, like-
I think
like the
regardless of
branch
how
here.
many you know, it's good.
like the branch here in this room, instead of like waiting for it to look and like stepping on it and then waiting for it to reposition you and then looking at the spot and then moving up, you just land on it, move up, jump immediately. Like that's
Yep.
the concept.
There's
of
thermal.
urgency, basically. Yeah. Hopefully this reminds Frigid to go to workstation and grab the face on, please. That would be
Yeah,
nice.
I don't know if they peaked it and just confused it for something else, which is pretty unlikely,
I'm gonna go check the
or just forgot.
yeah, I'm gonna go check the bot for that because that's pretty.
Yeah. But I didn't mean to keep you here, Baja. We
all
appreciate
good.
your time here in the interview.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you both for jumping in the booth. Last minute
Absolutely.
here.
Thank you for the great race. You take care. GG again.
Catch you later.
And congrats on the win.
Yeah, thank you.
Practice spiral shaft.
Practice everything. Oh my god.
Practice everything.
Yep.
Win the tournament.
Learn one
I
movement
expect you in
strat
the
and I'll give you a
finals
high five.
again.
Yeah.
I want you in the finals again, Ba.
It's not happening. But later, folks.
Bye. Oh,
Alright,
Frigid
but on
just
to Frigid side, right?
Frigid just
They
did
have
not even
not
look at
done
workstation.
labs. Yeah, that. I'm assuming at this point they just kind of left their memory.
yeah. Yeah, like both times, like on the way to mines, just walk by the item.
I've definitely had times where I, like, if I hot dog something, but I thought I got it, I just completely forget it. You know, I've been that way with like Tower of Light, Vent Shaft just recently in a CGC race, and stuff like that.
In the last mentor tournament, the Prime mentor tournament, Bello famously did this with with elite
Bello hot
elite
dog.
research. Bello, there was an artifact in upper elite research. Bello looked at it and then walked right past it.
Oh, that was in Life Grove actually.
Yeah. No, that wasn't Life Grove. That was elite
I think
research.
it might have been both actually.
I know for
Or
Bello.
maybe Life Grove was a different player that I'm thinking of.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, that's what happened to Bello. It was quite spectacular, and Bello ended up winning the race. Like every single time Bello has done something embarrassing, Bello's won the race. So thank God, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to make fun of him.
It's a bittersweet feeling when you win a race, but you hot dog something.
Bello's a good spirit about it, which is why I make fun of him. But it's
Yeah.
just I love it. I love Bello. Bello's all my homies love Bello. Bello's great.
I'll have to excuse myself for a second to use the restroom.
That is fine. We're just gonna see Frigid pick up control tower, and then after that, in terms of remaining checks for Frigid, there is training chamber, biohazard, research lab, Hydra, observatory, frost cave, which I think we already saw, yes, and storage cave we already saw, gravity chambers we already saw. Like, yeah, we have completely cleared the seat here. So I think Frigid might just be a little lost at this point as to what is happening. Where is this item? I believe they also have 4 artifacts, if I'm not mistaken. They should have 4, because they did main corridor and elite corridors. Yes. They did Ice Ruins West and Lower Shrine. Yes. Good. So just cargo freight lift. But yeah. In the meantime, I'm gonna go check up on the Bra Feisty match. Let's see what's going on over there. Looks like Bra is going into labs. We got wave, gravity, plasma, thermal. Feisty in the meantime doesn't have any beams, so kind of a actually no, it does. Oh, looks like Baja is tracking that one. Which is good at Baja. Yep, just training chamber and biohazard. So right now, Frigid should be confused, or right about now, I think we should be going to Frigid at least to grab the artifact, but maybe I want to do that last. Probably save warp, biohazard, and then training chamber, and then immediate confusion. Yeah, I don't believe Baja checked anything that Frigid has not. I think Frigid has just checked more than Baja. So, I'm just looking at my remaining list of items. That's all we got left. That's all we're waiting for.
I forgot I pushed talk on. I'm back.
Hello, welcome back.
Frigid
Sorry.
does seem to be running out of checks, but they have not done Frigate yet, which I think is what they were going
They
to
only
do
have
now.
they only have 2 checks left in the entire game: training chamber and biohazard, and workstation.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm pretty sure.
I think I'm getting Seed Bleed. Was Train Chamber or Train Chamber is not an artifact? That was the last scene.
Yeah, seed bleed. Yeah, that was your seed. Or that was the last seed. Excuse me. Well, they haven't done overgrown. I'm gonna do
Well,
that.
probably
They've
gonna do now.
just now done for. Okay, well, okay. So they have to do overgrown. Maybe they have to
Based
do
on Soup being there, like, never, ever happens.
That's the thing with Phazon. I think I put it best a few days ago. I can't remember. I think I was talking with somebody. I think you might have been in the chat. I was like, Phazon suit is either immediate or it's in mines.
Yep, I do remember you saying that.
So
And it
we
is
did
kind of
that.
true.
Yeah.
It's either right on the way, or not at all.
So it's either frigate crash site or mines.
I mean, honestly, it's more like, it's like, I don't know,
Goes on.
vaults or mines.
Yeah. So this
You
is
know-
artifact number 5, and then training chamber, and then opening the map time. But I'm just gonna have the Bra Feisty match open because we're just waiting for Frigid to do this.
Yeah, fair enough.
So Bra finished labs without ice, so now is going back to
There's a pretty clear favorite in that matchup.
yeah. Missed what happened in the early on, but it seems like Bra got an early advantage. Found Wave and Plasma much earlier. Or just Wave Beam earlier and went to Fen. No, Feisty's just clearing Fen, so. Dude, we gotta clip me willing the boost ball into existence.
Yeah, that was insane. Absolutely ridiculous.
I think I've done that a couple times with Pod W suit in the mentor tournament. And
That was like roughly the same time the vanilla wave beam was being secured.
yeah, it was too. Yeah, they saw it at the same time. You know, Biohazard is nothing. I wonder if they have Training Chamber in their mind, or if they see Biohazard and they're just like, alright, I have Hot Dog something. They did Training Chamber access, so maybe, no, I'm confused now. Yep, there's the map. Okay, so
Yep.
I think train chamber was already checked. I'm gonna go to the VOD.
Yes, it was. I remember.
Okay. Was it checked
Yes,
by
it was.
Baja or?
By Frigid.
Okay.
So they have exhausted everything.
Yeah, it's the game's fully cleared. Maybe they'll finally alt tab and see the race time, because I imagine that's what's happening right now. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I do think Frigid is a
No,
proponent of finishing with
there
this
it
car.
is, station. But no, didn't.
I don't think they realize.
No. Oh boy.
So, where to next? Now it's just a matter of Frigid going back in their mind, thinking about everything that they checked and thinking about what's there. That load is quite long.
I'm really curious as to what compelled the art team to be like, yeah, let's just put the most incredibly serene piece of music ever created in this level. In a crash.
I think it's the most fitting compared to all of them, honestly.
I know, but it's like
Maybe besides the Talent
I think it's
stuff.
only fitting in retrospect. Because like it fits the aquatic atmosphere very nicely, but like the context of the game does not doesn't actually immediately point you towards that, I think. Because the
Well, we're
context of
watching
the game
this
is,
gameplay of people just trying to find where the items are and finish the game as quickly as they can. Yes, but
No, I mean,
I
the
remember in my
context
casual
of, like,
playthroughs when I'm just taking it in. It's
no, I
it's
mean
a nice
like
feeling.
this is the crashed frigate of a pirate. It's not like it's not like it's very alien sound, and it doesn't seem like it makes more sense. Like I think it would make more sense in like an aquatic and natural space like Farfetch.
I do understand where you're coming from. I think it's more interesting with Frigate because you get to see that alien technology being taken over by fauna, which is cool.
That I really like. That's what makes it work for me now. But like, I like as an artist, that's not the first thing I would think of. Because like
Yeah,
the
but
first thing that I would think of is the music when you first enter Frigate. That's kind of you know what I'm talking about. That
yeah,
ambiance.
I do understand what you mean. It should well maybe,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
the
still
first thing that would come to
familiar,
mind.
right? It's less mysterious. So
starting
where
to think
is
Train
Frigid
Chamber was
going?
I'm starting to think that train chamber was not checked. But
It was. I'm certain. You can see on the map that was highlighted
Oh, okay.
by Frigid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when we did
Baja
the
really had a
flag
decisive
flag
lead.
group, right? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
And there's a neat little thing there. You can lock on to Shriek Bats with Thermal Visor because they're very hot interiors.
Mm-hmm. That's the whole reason why I kind of want like an intermediate level tournament, and then you start with thermal, and then you can just do thermal dashes. Just that's kind of why I start with thermal and X-ray, just so I can do more dashes.
Just shuffle combat and start with Thermal.
Oh yeah, I really think they butchered thermal and remastered. That's actually the only part of the game.
Yeah,
that
it hurts my eyes.
yeah. Like it looks more realistic, but like who cares about realism, man? This is an alien
Dude,
planet.
look at Samus and
Yeah.
tell me if you think that's realistic. Look at her turning into Morph Ball. You know, I'm not trying to get Call of Duty
She's like
thermal
2
imaging.
meters tall. I think she's like
She's 6'7", I think.
something like literally.
She's a
2 meters
giant.
tall. Yeah. That morph
Are they
ball is
thinking
like a
gallery
meter
tunnel?
tall. That morph ball is like a meter tall. It's crazy.
It is. It's like a bit over 2 feet.
Yeah.
you know, it goes up to like my knee.
Oh no. Oh no. I know where we're going.
Probably right here in Gallery Tunnel.
Yep. But it's nothing. It's a missile. If I remember correctly.
And there's the forfeit from Frigid. Typing a simple word UGH into the race time. Finally deciding to throw in the towel after an arduous match, I imagine.
Yep. Hopefully we can get him in and just ask him a few questions.
Yep, here in a second.
Or at the very least to just let him know.
Hello, Frigid.
Hello, Frigid. Would you like to know where it is?
What's that?
Would you like to know where it is?
Yeah, I'm gonna kick myself for it.
Magmore Workstation.
I looked at it. How did I not recognize it?
You did not look at it.
Good question.
Did I not?
You did not.
I
You
don't
walked
think
by.
you did.
I could
I
have
checked the
swore...
bot. I double checked.
Seed bleed. That's what I'm blaming it on.
Probably. Yeah.
Dang. Was
Now,
good
Baja
effort.
was ahead even when you hot dogged it, but still, like that's
But
that's.
you weren't too far behind.
You weren't
maybe
too
like
far.
a few minutes. It was still pretty close.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's reassuring at least.
I think the
I-
only thing that's like the major thing that set you behind was just the transport tunnel B space jump.
Yeah, that was awkward.
Yeah. But I think after that phase on, if you had done lower mines first, you might have had a good chance of winning there because Baja opted to do upper mines before lower, which was arguably quite a bit
Oh,
slower.
man. I had the right idea, because, like, as soon as I had all the beams and X-ray visor, I knew that if it was a phase-on suit hunt, more likely than not, it's in mines, so...
Yep, it's pretty often mines.
Yeah.
Not this time, and I just so happened to overlook it. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but the routing was quite similar, besides Space Jump and also a late game portion where in Hall of the Elders after Ice Beam, you did not do the Triple Bomb Jump and you opted to warp to start, and you didn't do like the Far Chozos, like Far Town stuff. But Baja
Yeah.
did do the Triple Bomb Jump and went and got Great Tree Chamber, and then did a
It was
Rogue Cavern into Furry Crash site, which was all dead. So
Yeah.
you gained some time there. By the time you were in warping to start, Baja was in the elevator to Magmore.
Lucy.
Like literally, I think my only question is, and I guess this is also a question to Sam, is if you find a logical missile launcher, do you do transport tunnel B no matter what? Because I think that's the only routing, I guess, quote unquote, error made. Otherwise, you almost routed better than Baja.
It's kind of a junk shoot, honestly, because like automatically you go to Artifact Temple just to get the
Yes.
hints, get whatever item is there, and then it's either you sidetrack and go get one item in TTB, which might not even be anything worthwhile, or you go and check Hive Totem, you go check Ruined Gallery, you go check Ruined Shrine. That's like 4 items right there. That's statistically, it's more often than not the item is there.
Yeah,
At least that's my line of reasoning.
I mostly agree there, but nowadays I'm too scared of being punished for it, so a lot of the time if I get Launcher, I always go because I'm too afraid. But if I get an expansion instead, and if I have like more for Space Jump, then it seems like more probable that it could be something a bit more important. It's kind of a toss-up though.
I can see the wisdom in that. Just because, like, logically speaking, you can just go to it right away instead of having to backtrack, so I can see that.
Yeah.
I remember
routing
asking the
was
same
pretty
question.
similar besides that.
I remember asking the same question in the mentor tournament too. Like it's a pretty controversial thing. Some people swear by it. Some people say, nope. And so I'm curious about it because it did cost you in this race, but like that's ultimately not what did it in. But yeah,
I mean,
and I think you played really well.
I feel like, thank you. I feel like hot dogging phase on suit and a lot of the small mistakes I've made all throughout cost me. You could argue that not going to TTB right away was detrimental are majorly detrimental, but who's to say?
Yeah, if you did
Yeah.
do that first, you would have been ahead.
Yeah, but it still comes down to if I still would have missed Phase on Suit and Workstation or not.
Yeah, but it'd be like that. We have definitely all hot dogged phase on suit at some point or another.
Yeah, which is really sad because in one of the practice seats that I did, I had broken into Arbor Chamber without plasma, and that's where Phase on Suit was.
Okay,
So
honestly.
Oh well. Well, just things to
It was pretty
improve
good
on.
besides that.
Yeah.
I'm
It
pretty
felt
close
good.
to that,
Like tricks and movement, I felt really clean aside from the small hiccups, but
Yeah. I'm not sure what you're looking to improve on, but I think your routing is solid. It's
The routing
just
is good,
if
yeah.
you ever want to learn movement, you just gotta commit to that.
yep.
Yeah. If we don't have any more comments, we can wrap up the restream here.
And send people over to Bra and Vicey.
Ah, yeah.
Seems to be
Yeah, we
wrapping
also
up
have that
right now.
race one.
Crazily. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Bra the favorite and Feisty a bit of the underdog. We're gonna see. And I just noticed Feisty's Twitch stream is labeled as Metroid Prime 2 tourney race versus Rinchon, which is slightly inaccurate.
Just a little outdated. Just a few months outdated. Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, no final thoughts from you, Frigid? Anything else you want to say?
Happy to be in the tournament. Excited. A little down that my debut in the tournament resulted in a forfeit, but that's not going to stop me
That
from
happens.
getting better.
Awesome, yeah. We're glad to have you in the tournament. So yeah,
Heck yeah.
thank you for the race. That was great. You can follow our lovely racers in the Twitch chat. Op has put in the command.
Pop already did it faster than me.
Yep. Drake, thank you for commentating with me, mate. Sorry that I
Thank you for
came in a
joining
bit
me
late.
yeah, thank you for joining me in the last minute though. That's fine though. That's
Yeah. And thank you, as always, Op, the legend, for tracking. You can also follow all of our Twitch channels in the chat. I can tell you that Op streams a lot of Dread, and she is damn good at it. So yeah, thank you very much. That'll be all from me.
And that's I guess I can close it. Go check out SpeedGaming 3. Should be wrapping up pretty soon. We should be getting a hint that Phase on Suit is in Phase on Mines very shortly. If you want to see that. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next mission. Bye bye.
See y'all.
Take care.